You're hoping if you spin the chamber enough times, you're gonna catch a bullet.
Oh my God, what an absolutely incredible movie. I don't think there's any way that I can kind of describe the action-packed nonsense that is Extraction. I'm almost lost for words. I've literally just finished watching it. Start this review off, what I want you to do, stop watching this review. Very strange way to go about it, but I want you to go to Netflix and watch Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. It is just 2 hours of non-stop shoot 'em up, blood, guns, army, just action. I'm astounded at how good this movie is. Let's just get into it. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth is Tyler Rake. He is a mercenary for hire. You know, he goes in behind enemy lines and, you know, does these jobs that most people would not want to do. He is hired to go and extract a young boy who has been kidnapped by a drug lord, basically. But the weird thing is, the kind of twist at the beginning of this, it is the son of a drug lord who has been kidnapped by another drug lord so that they can kind of get money from the other drug lord and also, kind of prove their superiority. It's all very strange. What we'll say just quickly, the script and the whole storyline together is a little thin. I'm not gonna lie. There's some moments in it where you just kind of think that was weird. It's not Oscar worthy script writing. I'm not I'm not bashing this movie at all. It's a very slight little thing, but the storyline isn't quite solid. But with everything else that's jam packed into these 2 hours, you can kind of forget about the up and down kind of nature of the storyline as we go along. But everyone involved has poured their heart and soul into this, so I can honestly say it's a brilliant movie if you kind of just ignore that little hiccup with the script. But yeah, so Chris Hemsworth character, Tyler, he goes in to extract this child. When we first kind of meet him, he's very drunk. You know, he is clearly an alcoholic. You know, he's been having some personal troubles. We later find out that his wife left him and his son unfortunately died. His young son died. So he's in a very bad way. So he turns to the drink, but they manage to drag him out and send him on this mission. And after everything kind of goes awry during this mission, I don't really want to spoil too much, but a lot of things go wrong, and he has to make a choice. You know, is he going to stick with trying to save the kid, even though, you know, spoiler alert, he's not going to get paid for it because the people that are supposed to be paying him are not going to pay him because they've sent their own guy in to kind of take the child away from Tyler. It's all very, like I say, it's all very convoluted, but he's not going to get paid, so he has to make a decision. He can leave the kid and go, or he can carry on doing the job that he ultimately will not get paid for. And he makes the right decision. He tries to help this child, but again, to no avail because, you know, there's just so much being thrown at him. It's kind of heartwarming, that side of it, the way he looks at this child and he kind of sees what he could have been as a father, I suppose. So he really does go out of his way to save this child and kills a lot of people. There's so much action. It's non-stop. Oh my word, it's... You really have to take a breather with this movie. I strongly suggest about halfway through, just pausing it for 5 minutes, catching your breath, and then getting back into it, because you will be out of breath by the end of this movie, because it's just so crazy. But yeah, all of this action is quite obvious when you look at the director. The director is a stuntman. He's directed a few movies before, but this kind of just culminates every stuntman's dream, the action that is thrown out there. So you can definitely see that a stuntman has worked on this movie. And it was actually written by Joe Russo. I was kind of one of the brothers who, you know, wrote and directed Infinity War and Endgame Avengers movies. You know, Chris Hemsworth, there's the link. So unfortunately, I don't want to bash Joe Russo, because this is a really good movie, but again, like I say, the story was a bit off. But yeah, the action is incredible. Oh my god, just it kind of, for a brief moment as well, I was watching this movie and I thought I could be a mercenary, I could do that, but no, absolutely no way. Chris Hemsworth's character, he goes through some absolute nightmares in this movie. He's barely standing by the end of it, but yeah, the action was incredible. And I tell you, another thing I really noticed is the camera work. I don't normally notice that in movies as such, but just the way they kind of use the camera to really enhance the story and the action that was going on. There's one point Tyler is reversing in a car, and he does that kind of movie brake spin round to go forward kind of move. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the exact term for it. But as he's doing that, the camera is following around the car. And as he turns and stops, the camera goes around the car and in the back window, as if it was a passenger. And then the car goes forward and the story carries on. It's just, that shot, it really just, it really jumped out at me and just made me gasp. And it was just incredible. There's this whole scene, there's a whole 5-10 minute scene that is just, it's one shot. It's filmed in one shot, and it is mind-blowingly incredible. It really is. It's got that kind of Raid feel to it. I think the best way to describe this movie is the Raid mixed with John Wick. If John Wick was plopped behind enemy lines and he, you know, kind of camoed up, this is the sort of thing that you'd see John Wick doing. So imagine John Wick and imagine the Raid, smush them together, and that's what this movie is. This action is absolutely incredible. Yeah, that camera work, like I was saying, the way it just swings around and jumps into the back seat of the car during this whole one shot scene, it's like the camera is a character in the movie. It's following the action as it's going around. It is mind-blowing. I'm not even gonna lie. Even if you don't watch the whole of this movie, watch that scene. It is, oh my word, honest. Just thinking about it and talking about it makes me want to stop and breathe. But yeah, really incredible movie. I kind of feel like I have to apologise for the storyline, because I'm mocking the story. It's a solid story, but it's very, to me, it's just very basic. It's very cut and dry, the way they just, oh, this man kidnapped this kid, you got to go and rescue him, there you go. But you don't really watch these movies for the storyline, so it is definitely 100% worth a watch. I'm trying to start rating movies. I'm going to start rating movies out of 5, and this movie for me is going to get a 4 out of 5. It would have got a 5 out of 5, like I say, if that storyline was just a little bit stronger, but the action more than makes up for it in this movie. Absolutely mind-blowing. I'm going to keep saying the word mind-blowing because all that's coming to my head right now, but it is, your mind will be out of your head. What a thrill ride. What an absolute thrill ride that movie is. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to give me a like and maybe subscribe to my channel. I am officially back. If you are a subscriber and you've noticed I've been gone for a little while, I'm here, I'm back, I'm getting back into it. I'm glad this movie is the one that kind of made me jump back in, because I was so excited watching this movie, thinking that I want to talk about this movie. What? David Harbour was in this movie. I completely forgot. The great David Harbour from Stranger Things, and he's still bulked up from when he done Hellboy, and obviously he's in the Black Widow movie as well over at Marvel, and he's still huge, and he gives Chris Hemsworth a bit of a run for his money. I can't believe I've nearly forgot about that. Mind-blowing. I said it again, it is mind-blowing. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you soon.